A runaway trolley is barreling down the track. Ahead, 5 people are tied to the rails. You are standing at a switch. If you do nothing, all 5 die. If you pull the lever, the trolley swerves onto a side track, where 1 person is standing. 1 dies instead of 5. What do you do? Most people say pull the lever. 5 lives are worth more than 1. That seems simple. But now imagine the same 5 people, the same runaway trolley. This time you are standing on a footbridge above the track, and next to you is a very large man. If you push him off the bridge, his body will stop the trolley. 5 people live. 1 man dies. Same math. Yet almost everyone says pushing is wrong. Pull the lever, yes. Push the man, no. Same numbers, different answers. That is the trolley problem. The trolley problem is not really about trains. It is about why our moral instincts contradict our moral arithmetic. It began in 1967, in a paper by the British philosopher Philippa Foot. She was writing about abortion, of all things, and the Catholic doctrine of double effect. The doctrine asks whether a harm is intended as a means, or merely foreseen as a side effect. Foot built a thought experiment to test that distinction, and the runaway tram was born. 9 years later, the American philosopher Judith Jarvis Thomson gave it a name that stuck. She called it the trolley problem. Thomson also invented the footbridge version, the one with the large man. And she pointed at the real puzzle: why do we answer these 2 cases so differently? The obvious answer is numbers. 5 is more than 1. That is utilitarianism, the philosophy of Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill. For a utilitarian, only the outcome matters. The greatest good for the greatest number. By that logic, you should pull the lever and push the man. Both actions save 5 lives at the cost of 1. A consistent utilitarian would do both. But most of us feel that pushing a man to his death is different, even if the arithmetic is identical. That feeling comes from Immanuel Kant. Kant said you must never treat a person merely as a means to an end. When you pull the lever, the 1 person's death is a side effect you regret. When you push the man, his body is the tool. Harm intended as a means is forbidden. Harm foreseen as a side effect can sometimes be accepted. In 2001, a psychologist named Joshua Greene put the trolley problem inside a brain scanner. He found that pushing the man lights up the brain regions linked to emotion. Pulling the lever lights up the regions linked to cold, careful reasoning. Your emotional brain says do not push. Your rational brain says 5 is more than 1. The trolley problem is that argument happening inside your head. Even more striking, people with damage to the emotion centers of their brains answer the footbridge case like pure calculators. They push the man without hesitation. Our reluctance to push is not logic. It is a deeply wired emotional response. In 2017, the YouTube of Vsauce built a real switching station and asked people to actually pull the lever. Only 5 of 7 did. Even in the easy version, most people froze. The trolley problem stopped being a classroom puzzle when self-driving cars arrived. Every autonomous car has to decide, in a split second, who to hit. The MIT Moral Machine Project collected 40 million decisions from 200 countries. People agreed the car should save the pedestrians. Then they said they would never buy a car programmed that way. We want the machine to be a cold utilitarian, as long as we are not the one in the machine. The same dilemma runs through medicine. 1 ventilator, 5 patients, and a doctor who has to choose. Hospitals use scoring systems to make these calls, because someone always has to. Every day, in emergency rooms and boardrooms, people face small trolleys. Sacrifice 1 to save many, or let many die to keep your hands clean. So what is the right answer? Philosophy has not settled it. Even Judith Jarvis Thomson, who named the problem, changed her own answer twice. She started out saying the switch case was fine. Then she argued the bystander should not even pull the lever. The woman who invented the trolley problem could not solve it. That is the point. The trolley problem is not a test with a correct answer. It is a mirror. It shows you the moment your heart and your arithmetic disagree. When you feel the pull of 5 lives and the horror of pushing 1, you are not being irrational. You are feeling the weight of what ethics is actually made of. So next time you face a hard choice, do not rush to the math. Pause. Ask why it feels wrong. That discomfort is not weakness, it is your moral compass doing its job. And if you ever stand at a switch with a trolley coming, pull it. Save the 5. But never forget that you did not solve the problem, you just chose. The trolley problem has been with us for 50 years, and it will outlive us. Because every generation meets the same question, what is one life worth? Maybe that is why it became a meme. The trolley is everywhere, in our cars, our hospitals, our feeds. And we keep asking, what would you do? What would you do? Sit with the question. That is the whole point.